New Kingdom Radio Theater.
Welcome to Unknown and Mysterious Creatures. I'm your host, J.V. Torres. Before we get into today's creature, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And of course, we definitely appreciate you smashing that like button. Now, it's time for the Mongolian Death Worm. In 1926, author Roy Chapman Andrew published a book titled On the Trail of Ancient Man. In it, terrifying stories of a monster in the Gobi Desert are told by locals in Mongolia of a worm-like creature that is so poisonous, merely touching it would spell death. Some believe that the creature travels under the surface of the sand, causing waves on the sand, which is how people can detect it. In the 1987 book titled Altajan Sadakgud, author Ivan Mackerel suggests that, according to Mongolian legend, the creature can even kill its unsuspecting victims using a venomous spray. There is also speculation that the death worm kills using a fatal electric discharge. However, it is also believed the death worm rarely ever comes to the surface. In spite of its rare surface appearances, the Mongolian death worm instills petrifying fear to many who travel around the Gobi Desert. Pop culture has a strange fascination with death worms in the sand, as evident by Hollywood blockbuster films such as Dune and even Star Wars. The idea of such a creature is certainly sensational and captivating. It's no wonder several journalists, explorers, and even reality TV show series have gone into the Gobi Desert in search of the Mongolian death worm. Some went in with just curiosity, others with ambition, but all have returned empty-handed. So most people are left wondering if such a beast really exists in the Gobi Desert. If one is to look for evidence in the fossil record, there is one major problem. Such a worm, as it has been described, is likely a fleshy creature with no bone structure to leave behind. Since it is believed to live in a desert, in hot and harsh conditions, it is highly unlikely that any part of a fleshy worm creature would even leave behind an impression of its body structure. But some extinct worms have been found in the fossil records. According to an article published in Nature.com, a fossilized worm dating back 500 million years was found that has shed some light in the evolutionary mystery of life on planet Earth. But the worm fossil found was from an animal that burrowed in the seafloor. Not to mention, the fossilized worm, named Yellingia speciformis, was just over 10 inches long. Interestingly, the largest worm on record was found in South Africa in 1967. It was an earthworm called Microchaetus rapi, and it measured 21 feet in length. However, earthworms are generally harmless creatures, and certainly pose no threat to anyone, even when they are 21 feet long. So, how could a worm evolve from a docile creature like an earthworm to a vicious killer like the one described in the Gobi Desert? One clue may come from all animals that evolve in the desert. According to Earth.com, some of the most dangerous desert animals include vipers, the Gila monster, rattlesnakes, scorpions, and some insects. How and why these animals became so dangerous boils down to survival. There are fewer animals that live in the desert than in other habitats throughout the world. In order to survive on fewer resources, and evolve defense mechanisms to help them survive becoming prey, and even to be more efficient hunters. Perhaps a worm could have made extreme adaptations in order to survive. But there is a hard question to answer when it comes to the Mongolian death worm. What might such a creature live on? Earthworms live in the dirt and process nutrients in the ground. Worms in the sea likely scavenge or filter their food from the water and the sediment. But what could possibly be in the desert sand that a giant death worm would or could live off of? Instead of expeditions being launched in search of this mysterious creature, maybe it would be wise to locate potential food sources under the sand. It would seem logical to search for animals where they would most likely gravitate to, food sources. But so far, explorers and cryptid seekers scour the desert for possible signs of this elusive creature, hoping it will miraculously appear for no apparent reason. If no one knows what the sand monster eats, they may be waiting an eternity for luck to find them. And if the legends about this creature are true, it just might be a horrific experience after all. If you like this show, or any of the shows produced by New Kingdom Radio Theater, please consider becoming a patron of the show for as little as $1. Go to patreon.com/KingAsilas, or click the link in the show notes and become a patron today. Also, share this episode with friends on your social media, or however you communicate with others. We truly appreciate your support. Thanks for watching and listening. Until next time, keep an eye out for more unknown and mysterious creatures.